Okay, we're going to look at the basics of JavaFX today. And in order to understand JavaFX, we need to kind of take a look at the way it's laid out and some of the terminology. So let's take a look at a play or a skit that we might do. So if we had a play or a skit, we're going to have a scene that we have. So we're going to start off with our stage. And on our stage, what we're going to do is add a scene. So every production will have a stage, and we have different scenes that can go onto that stage. So let's start with a scene from an Italian restaurant. So we might have our table, a couple chairs, and maybe we'll have some candles, and we can put a bottle of wine. And we basically have our scene. And so our scene goes on our stage, and we can change it. We can put a new scene out there, and we can put different objects out there. So in our scene, we have different objects that kind of make up our scene. We can take them, we can add more, we can take some away, different things like that. And so that's the basics of how JavaFX is working. Starting with a stage, we build a stage, we put scenes on our stage, we can change our scenes if we need to. We can add different objects to our scenes, and some of them are related. So we might have a table where we put candles on the table, we put a bottle of wine on the table, and if we want to move the table, we move the whole table in that part of the scene. So let's take a look at this terminology specific to JavaFX. So when we start a JavaFX application, the first thing we're going to do is create a stage. The stage is basically our highest level that anything goes on. From the stage, we need to add a scene. So we can change our scenes, but generally speaking, we're going to just stick with one scene as we're going through these next few weeks. And again, scenes can go on the stage and they can come off the stage. We can add a new scene, we can take a scene away, things like that. In our scene, we then need to have what we call our root node. So our root node goes into our scene, and that basically holds everything. Our root node is typically going to be some sort of organizational structure that we can look at, and we'll be examining several different of these types of root nodes over the next couple weeks. And then in our root node, we can have different branches, or what we can call parent nodes, so we can put different things in there. Again, these could be things that we actually have, like a table, or they could be more of an organizational tool that is kind of a behind-the-scenes piece. And then underneath those, we have leaves or children. And again, these leaf nodes can have children of their own, and we can keep going down further, and we'll see some different examples of that. So this is generally a high-level overview of the structure that we're going to be looking at. And so keep this structure in mind as we start creating things, and as needed, you may want to look back to this from time to time.